Yeah, it's just one of those days. Yeah, sanbonani. Just one of those days. In Captured Azania, I am your host with the most fingers, Kaya Masego, who just sat on his cigarette twice in a row, even though I kept on trying to avoid it. Anyway, today is one of those days where Babylon is still stepping on our throats. It's one of those days where the jackboot of the incessant government is still on our throats, and I don't see much happening besides me being very, very angry. It's a bad time. You know, yesterday marked 38 years after the move, 37 years after the move bombings, the city that bombed itself in Philadelphia in 1985 in March, I believe it was, it was April, where it happened that there was this movement, an anarchist movement of Christian anarchists who wanted to live life naturally and by natural laws. And what happened to them was that the city of Philadelphia wanted them to stop. You know, they don't want you to have autonomy. They never want you to have autonomy. They don't want you managing your own land, managing your own resources, not needing the city. And these people were extremists in the sense that they wanted to control themselves and their own destiny and their own land and what they eat and the water they have. You know, basic anarchists. The form that you don't want, actually, because they're teaching people how to live without government. So the city of Philadelphia, decided to load up a helicopter with an explosive, fly over the African family. Yeah, their surname was Africa. Africa is the leader of the cult, as it were, the group. John Africa and his family were bombed from above by a helicopter from the Philadelphia police. No police were arrested, no police were charged. There was a legal suit that followed many years later, I believe by 1995. It was 10 years after the fact, you know. John Africa served 7 years in jail. He was the man who was bombed in his house, who lost so much family and friends. And yet, he went to jail for 7 years. And the city only paid him 500,000 rand, $500,000 for the pain. I don't think it was worth it, considering all the things that they went through. So the city that bombed itself is Philadelphia, and this was 36 years in the past as of yesterday. The move bombings, MOVE. Read about that shit, because man, I get gooseflesh every time I mention it. I'm goosefleshing right now. So it's another one of those days. It's about day 45 here in Inanda with no water. We still got no water. Remember on my last recording, which is almost a month ago now, I told you that we ain't got no water. We still ain't got no water. And people were striking, and my nephew got shot in the head while people were protesting outside. He wasn't even protesting, he was just standing on the side looking pretty, and he got his ass shot. So he has a bullet lodged in his head, and the hospital says they can only remove it on Monday. Why? Because he's still alive and talking. That's their problem. They prefer if he was dead or dying, and then maybe it looks like an emergency. Huh? This is the reality of black lives, people. Black lives don't matter. When you tell people that your life is important, they're gonna say, my life is important too. My life is important too. And they never get it. They never get the importance of what you are telling them that my life matters. We live in constant states of sorrow as black people. I'm looking at William Blake, Poems and Prophecies, Kaya Masego, Verses, and Friedrich Nietzsche's The Gay Science. Those are our books today. Nietzsche's The Gay Science, Kaya Masego's Verses from Three Rock, and William Blake's Poems and Prophecies, an Everyman paperback. For now, I will prepare myself my first smoke of the day while we listen to Allison, Sorrow, and the dub. I'll play you the dub. Oh, Jah. Oh. You turn this shit up for you a bit. We know it, we feel it. Oh, Jah. Oh, Jah. Oh, how is that voice? Heal us, heal my black people, oh Jah, please. Jah must heal my black people. Anyway, we're talking about Nietzsche, and Nietzsche is talking about the slanderers of nature, people who slander nature. Yeah? Hulo! You need to listen to this. You need to know what's going on. Nietzsche talks about the slanderers of nature. And he says, against the slanderers of nature, I find those people disagreeable, in whom every natural inclination immediately becomes a sickness, something that disfigures them or is downright infamous. It is they that have seduced us to hold that man's inclinations and instincts are evil. Right? Yeah, man. He says that it is they that have seduced us to hold that man's inclinations and instincts are evil. They are the cause of our great injustice against our nature, against all nature. There are enough people who might well entrust themselves to their instincts with grace and without care, but they do not, from fear of this imagined evil character of nature. That is why we find so little nobility among men, so little nobility. For it will always be the mark of nobility that one feels no fear of oneself, expects nothing infamous of oneself, flies without scruple where we feel like flying, we free-born birds. Wherever we may come, there will always be freedom and sunlight around us. That's 294, part of book 4 in the Gay Science. Yeah. Nietzsche, man. And I find that people are afraid of nature and have separated themselves from nature. People forget that we are nature. My brother says Siyimvelo, which is a direct translation. This is Zulu leso. It's amazing. It's amazing. Siyimvelo. We are nature. And we mustn't forget. And we must act like it too. We must act like we are nature. Anyway, didn't realize how loud my sound system is now that I'm working on a new one. You will remember that in the rains that came, I suffered damage. All my gear was damaged. And my tower still isn't working properly, but I did get to, with the money I got, I did get to fix my tower and work on the sound. So we have this, and I hope that you will enjoy it. My cigarette is ready, by the way. Haven't smoked yet. My coffee's gone cold while I'm busy talking to you people about Nietzsche. I have not gotten to William Blake. I will, but we're still busy with the Gay Science, with a prelude in rhymes and appendix of songs. That's just dang beautiful, man. Okay. Let me burn the ting, the ting, the ting.
lighter them? What the lighter them, what?
It's in the other room.
What the lighter them?
Forgive the noise, I'm breaking through the studio door to get to the room next door. Stealing a short moment to sip, smoke. See, this is why you don't step outside the studio. As soon as I step out, people asking me questions. Yeah, Jaman. Yeah, Jaman. Alright, Kaya's back like vertebrae. Where were we? Oh, this is a good one. This one is called Homegrown. I always enjoyed this one. Always enjoyed this one. Very chill, man. Very chill. Yeah. So I'm in a very, very weird space because I'm supposed to be building at the back. But the rains fucked it up, and now we're just slightly short of the funds to finish off. But sinethemba, we have hope, and it is going to come together, and I will have a nice small domicile for me and myself. I feel like taking an acid trip one of these weeks, but the money hasn't been there for these little joys, you know, or big ones, really. Just gotta be careful with your life. Just gotta work smart, watch your money, watch yourself. These days ain't easy. And we're talking about police states and things the other day. We're talking about my friends with police states, and I feel like we let Babylon, we let the system, as it were, whatever name you want to call it, capitalism, klepto-capitalism, we let all of these things rule our lives. We let the police rule our lives. We let the law above us rule our lives. We are so used to being told what to do. And Christianity has taught people that sin can happen, but sin will be forgiven. And that's dangerous. Dangerous. I'm reading Jerusalem by William Blake, and it's quite intense. Check out what he says in his entreating or pleading to the Lamb of God. He says, "Come, O thou Lamb of God, and take away the remembrance of sin. To sin and to hide the sin is sweet deceit, is lovely. To sin in the open face of day is cruel and pitiless. But to record the sin for a reproach, to let the sun go down in a remembrance of the sin, is a woe and a horror, a brooder of an evil day, and a sun rising in blood. Come then, O Lamb of God, and take away the remembrance of sin." And that remembrance of sin is important. I feel it's important. I think it's important to remember where you went wrong, so you don't do it again. Because if I keep forgiving you for the same old shit, you might just keep doing the same old shit, won't you? I mean, that's just how people are. They get away with things when we let them get away with things. I'll listen to Down Where the Fishes Glow. Down Where the Fishes Glow. Deep, 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 deep down. I'm gonna turn this shit up and go smoke a little bit more of that joint. Nah. Feel how Reddit. Feel how Reddit. Hey, Jerusalem, eh? Jerusalem is bad news. I want to read the very end of Jerusalem for you because you've got to hear this. Where is this thing? No, it is not the bomboclat end of Jerusalem. Fourfold annihilation and the clangor of the arrows of intellect. The innumerable chariots of the Almighty appeared in heaven. And Bacon and Newton and Locke and Milton and Shakespeare and Chaucer. A sun of blood-red wrath surrounding heaven on all sides around. Glorious, incomprehensible by mortal man, and each chariot was sexual threefold. Three sexes, hey? Three sexes. Whatever. This is quietness, you know? Even though William Blake was so insightful and intelligent, he was still white, and his lenses were white, and his heroes and intellectual teachers were white, and so he has no other lens or perspective to look at the world. So you can forgive someone like that, but you also can't just let it slide. That, my man, as intelligent and as wise as you are still blinkered. You are still blinkered, and you need to open up. Shakespeare and Chaucer, they're great and everything, but you know, they were African writers too, but who cares about black intellectualism in the age of William Blake, right? Who cares about Chokwe mathematics, star forming and stargazing people, the people who know how stars are made, the people who knew about Pleiades, that it was a galactic cluster of gas way before other people knew about it, while they were still killing Copernicus. You know, our African people were making masks to to Orion. Yeah, they were doing rituals to the three sisters. They were doing rituals to Rigel Centauri. They were doing all of that stuff way before white people even knew, while they were still suffering through their black plagues. But of course, William Blake wouldn't know about that shit, would he? Because when they travel to Africa, they meet fear and horror and things that they don't know. That bothers me highly. Anyway, we're always learning, the world is expanding. Hey, always. The thorough. Those who are slow to know suppose that slowness is of the essence of knowledge. Bachele Nietzsche. They think slowness is the essence of knowledge. Them not know. They think it's being thorough, but you're just being slow, my man. You're not being thorough. Another short Nietzsche quote says, polite. He is so polite, they say. Yes, he always carries a biscuit for Cerberus, and is so timid that he thinks everyone is Cerberus, even you and I. That is his politeness. Hey man, I'm sick and tired of coping with the system, dealing with Babylon. We got to take some kind of control. And so I'm thinking about getting land, and we don't have to buy it. Not here. It's gonna be a war, people. There's a war coming, and I feel like I'm gonna be a part of it in a major way. Because the intellectual war has been waged, we need to wage a physical war. Empowered by the spirit, so we can conquer Babylon, not just cope with it. This is a great song called Coping with Babylon by Quanta. Now would be a good time to smoke my thing. Yeah. Good time with a light at it.
What the lights at him, what?
It's gonna be my quote for the day.
What the lights at him?
The rivers for the preservation of life. The trees, the herbs, all these things for the preservation of life. Wealth and power is what Babylon sees. And I think wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Connection.
I return higher than the sunrise, feeling irate. My mouse pad is a book called Body of Glass by Marge Piercy. I never finished it. It was a gift from an ex. I never finished it. I think it was a book about a golem. It was a book about a lady who constructed herself a golem. I have not finished it. Now, I did promise you some verses from 3 Rock. This one, I'm reading a copy that was damaged by the rain. In honor. In honor. Now, we are reading some post-GOD verses of Sapiens after the global overhaul device, yeah? It says, this is poem 6.3. Trod to that ark. It lies over yonder, beached and bleached by the water. It seems they do not use wisdom compulsively, so knowledge hits them concussively. What do we do then to liberate them from their malaise? To alleviate their malady and turn it into a melody. Compel them not to take Africa lightly. Watch Azania shine brightly after they fall. They didn't have to. B. Mouthful of dirt and saying it tastes like humbling pie. Oh, so humble. They could have trod to the ark over yonder, to the land of King Selassie I, great-grandfather, brought and broke the new to create the newer, preserved the memory of the most ancient of days and ways. If you do, trod and chant the hymn of the Ark of the Covenant over yonder, see the weather coming, know that you will weather it. To the Ark, dear Sapien, to the Ark. Poem 6.4. This one got some pretty good reviews from all the people who've read it, and I've never read it to anyone. Made a very terrible recording of it once, but here is 6.4. It's still Sapiens poems. It says, who then will save dearest I from I, trapped in a church and worshipping jazz, on a slow train to hyper-consciousness, dancing on this modality we call life, for it is just a dance floor. What do we groove for? Whose rhythm conquers the ear? My Moses chose the Sui side. We all choose sides. He has been lost, but his chants now reverb against these holy walls. Any day now, I expect him to arise melodically from his shrine-like grave. It is he and his ilk that cure inner ills in I. Cry do I cry, for my kings and queens who were never crowned, who were never officially, whose office? Initiated into royalty, whose throne is the stage, kingdom is the ear. Knees need not bow when the hippocampus knows deeper than the ego will allow. This is my church now, still seeking for a Messiah, though many step into the Colosseum of divinity. I does not bow. What letter would I become then? Yeah, post-God poems, man. 'Cause the global overhaul device is real. It is coming. And while in the vein of poetry, I feel like I should show you this amazing Billy Woods song. It's new. Please get it. Please get it. It's available on all media. It is the new Billy Woods. This one is a song called Asylum. The album is called Ethiops. Check it out. I think it's something really interesting.
I think Mengistu Haile Miriam is my neighbor. Whoever it is moved in and put an automated gate up, repainted brick walls atop which now cameras rotated. By 8 the place dark, one light burned later, razor wire like a slinky. Rumor is Paul Sabon took the secretary right eye and pinky. Evenings he take a snifter of whiskey on the veranda, I wonder what he's thinking. In the morning the maid brings coffee from the kitchen. Some nice strange music plays, I lay in bed and listen. Downstairs I hear my mother breaking dishes, my father tripping. It's been quite bad lately, high tension, galvanized steel security fencing. To get through the day, give myself a mission. Anything will get me out the house a blessing. His bodyguard chews cat, spits black in the rhododendron. Blacked out range rumble when he start the engine. Avocado tree hang over the property line. I watch from as high as I can climb. The dog looks up and whines. The hills are alive with landmines. I live in my mind. Not sure what I'm looking for, but I'll know when I find. My mother sent the gardener to look for me, but the sky is a great place to hide. Never told the truth in your life. Can't start now. Never so slowly, slowly locked up in your own house. Never told the truth in your life. Can't start now. Ever so slowly, slowly locked up in your own house. The guests start having doubts. The host nowhere to be found. There's ghosts in the building's bones. So many skeletons in the ground. When everything collapsed, he just melted to the crowd. Suitcase packed, melted down the crowd. Hey, safe as long as they want you around. Tomorrow, it's no telling. Hollow when you done selling.
You see how well they treat me? My own courtyard for private stroll, and in my chalet, every possible amenity, not to mention the occasional night visit. I must confess, Kabir, this detention seems to look well on you. But so does captivity look well on a ram we are fattening up for the feast. Or perhaps I should say on a wife we treat with special favor because she's going to bear us a child. What happens when the great day comes and there is only a calabash under the ram?
Yeah, you should really check out that work.
Okay.
Where is my other book? I said we were reading these 3 books. And I'm cycling in between. But wait. You guys remember a while back I spoke about my interest in vaccine injury. I don't know what people's ideas are now about vaccine injury, but I feel like the control over government belief is slipping, as it always does over time. It's just sad that people aren't wise enough at the time to not make these stupid decisions. lots of people regret having taken their vaccines. I'm seeing lots of people, and I'm a bit of a Twitter junkie, so I hear people's opinions, live. No one forced them to tweet this shit, or most of them. And I get to listen to people regretting having fallen for the pressure of their parents or grandparents, or the pressure of their friends, fear of getting ghosted, fear of being sick, standard fear. And this is why lots of the UK anarchists were calling it Project Fear. In a big way, that's exactly what it was. It was put the fear of death in people and they will do anything for you. And thinking they're doing it for themselves, right? But look, now Pfizer's got all the money, they've got their test results, they've done everything on live human test subjects, and they're fine, but we're not. Lots of kids, I'm hearing about the 20-somethings with heart problems, man, after the vaccine, angina and things of that sort. Way too much of it. People with more breathing problems than they had before, They've got more breathing problems now that they've taken the vaccine. It's been crazy. So I wonder what you people think. How you feel about fighting the powers that be, especially when it comes to being able to manage your own body and health. Where I stay, ain't nobody wear a mask. Ain't nobody. Only the people at the clinic down the road. But other than that, you don't see no goddamn masks. And even the madman who wears his mask every day doesn't even wear it right. So he'd be sick too. And I don't get how a virus that is spread through breathing can be prevented by a mask so thin. I mean, I'd want gas masks, right? You want the full hazmat mask, covering the face and everything if you don't want to touch your face. But I haven't seen China mass producing proper breathing paraphernalia for the world, right? Or Germany or Russia or the United States. No one actually made proper breathing equipment for the world. Protective gear, eh? And yet we have a global pandemic apparently. Yet I'm not seeing such a global effort as if, what if this was the Black Plague? Right, where people actually died in the streets, where we can see the disease, right? Because we can't really see COVID, can we? Can't really see it. It's around apparently, but we can't really see it. But the Black Plague was very visible. You know what I mean? If this was Black Plague levels, we would see a response, but we're being told it's Black Plague levels without the response, which just tells me that there is fish. There is fish. Something fishy. Something fishy aguan. And it's hard to accept. Pull up, pull up, pull up. What the hell was that? This is Saida's song Flute. Why is that so badly recorded though? Can you hear Coltrane's sax isn't coming out clear? That is weird. Is weird. I think it's the live recording I found of this. I've got so many versions of one tune there. Can you hear the LP? bass is coming out beautiful. Woo! Yeah, let's put Sir John in the back for once. Hey, lot. There are lessons to learn from the old things. There are lessons to learn from old people. There are lessons to learn from old objects. There are things. And we must not disrespect the ancient just because we think they are out of date or obsolete. That ain't right, child. That ain't right. So something I'm learning about Ableton 11, because usually I do these shows on Ableton 9, but I am using Ableton 11 for the very first time. And I'm learning that the auto warp thing is strange to me right now. It auto warps things, long files, and also the loop button is missing. Now it just loops automatically. Now it just loops because the file is playing. It's going to loop anyway. You have to just stop the file if you don't want it to loop. Now all things are set to loop, and I don't like that. I liked having a loop button just for control, you know. I don't know about you live producers or DJs and things, but it's nice to have a loop button. You just don't want the thing looping by itself, especially if you're working with short looping clips, right? But hey, if there's one thing I don't care about, is the president of our nation. I couldn't care about the president of the nation of South Africa. It's a false nation in the first place, based on false premises, big illusion, and any socio-anthropologist would tell you so, that this thing is a farce. But you just gotta live with it, I guess. You bite the bullet until you cannot, and then you die, or you spit it back out in their faces. Hey, that's an alternative. Yeah, it's an alternative. It's a choice. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to go. It was nice to be with you. Might just leave you with one more shortish thing from Nietzsche, or maybe a few poems from him. Who knows? Let me pop you something from one Duduzo Makatini. Yeah, y'all. I have given a name to my pain and call it dog. Nietzsche, I have given a name to my pain and call it dog. It is just as faithful, just as obtrusive and shameless. just as entertaining, just as clever as any other dog. And I can scold it and vent my bad mood on it, as others do with their dogs, servants, and wives. Woo! As others do with their dogs, servants, and wives, my people. You have been warned. Nietzsche warned you. Hey, through the inspiration of Kaya Masebo. I swear there are echoes of Nietzsche everywhere. Hey, I hope the sun. Nah, you know what? Let me read this to you some other time. Maybe I've done the Duzo because it's too violent for the Duzo Makatini's work. Oh, I hope the sun. Let's wait. Let me get up and dance. Oh man. I don't know if you've noticed regular slight clippings like that. You see that? I have to work on. And in as much as it makes sure that my work is stamped and I can make sure that I didn't steal anyone's tunes and whatnot, you know, it's good, but also for 100% pure quality recording, I feel I have to sort out some RAM issues with this thing. Ableton 11 is very taxing, by the way, for those who don't know. Ableton 11 is very taxing on the resources. I will call it after this. I believe I have something to read. I hope the sun. Because the poem doesn't have a title. I don't. Let me find something good. La 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 la. Woo woo. sivalelisa ngenkondlo. Read in the key of Robert Glasper. Okay. I hope the sun. I hope the sun, oh, instability is our dance, evaporates every drop of water in your body. I pray every third morning that tomorrow doesn't have you in it. Oh. I hope the sun, oh, instability is our dance, evaporates every drop of water in your body. I pray every third morning that tomorrow doesn't have you in it. I will not dedicate every prayer to your demise, but this one is for you. I sharpen every word in my verse, dunk it carefully in poison, a plague and bane on all your bloodline. I hope our God dries you up. Instability is our dance. In trance we make our advance. Die, and die now. Oh. One hate poem, just one hate poem. Dedicated to the person you hate the most. I hope the sun dries you up, motherfucker. Instability is our dance. I hope the sun dries you up. Evaporates every drop of water in your body. There are more creative ways to say fuck you. Is all I'm saying. This episode is ruined actually because of the RAM issues. Really sorry about this, but I thought it was sorted, but clearly I need to just make lots of room. And as you know, I did lose my computer and technology the other month, I mean like early on this month, so I'm really working on the fly here, doing the best with what I got. But this will not stand. I want my music not flawless, but at least sounding good. Not flawless, no, flaws are good. Also, that Saida song flute didn't hit me too good. But yo, I'm Kaya Masego, and I do this. This is 3 Rocks, if you don't know what it's called. A live, produced radio show from South Africa, whatever that is. Live from KwaZulu. Well, at least it was made live. You're hearing it somewhere in the future, aren't you? You're not even there yet. I'm here and making this for the future ear. I hope I've inspired you at least, and that you can find these songs and listen to the perfected versions, right? Rather than my flawed representations of what they should be. actually remember Knowledge and Earl having this exact same problem, although I don't know how it was happening on their side because they were working from a Red Bull studio. Certain clipping on tracks and cutting that was strange, but they got away with it. Maybe because it's Earl Sweatshirt and Knowledge, right? And I'm not Earl, and I'm not signed with Stone's Throw Records like Knowledge, am I? I am just Kaya Masego. Doing this shit.